Hello, this is Matthew Hill along with Carol Ponton on the Hill and Ponton VA video blog. We are here to talk to you about filing secondary claims and making sure the claim you have filed is complete. A lot of times we see vets who file a claim for one thing, and that one thing causes a lot of other disabilities that frankly might be rated a lot higher than the first thing. And what issue we want to talk about today is actually diabetes.
That's a great issue to talk about because it's a perfect example of how filing for diabetes alone doesn't really get the veteran what they need.
Typically 20% rating.
Right. If you're taking medicine, that's 20% rating. If you have insulin and you have a regulation of daily activities, you may be able to get up to 40. That's not going to reimburse you for what's really going on.
Right.
So typically with diabetes, one of the worst problems is peripheral neuropathy, the lack of feeling, the numbness, the pain in your hands, your arms, your feet, and your legs. So if you have diabetes and you have any of those problems, you need to put the VA on notice. If you tell them I have diabetes, but you don't explain I also have this terrible problem with my hands and my legs, I can't pick up a glass, then you're really shortchanging yourself.
And peripheral neuropathy, fancy term, I couldn't spell it if you asked me to, but that's not what's important. What's important is you say, Carol said, my hands are tingling, my feet are numb. List the problems that are as a result of that so that it's on the VA to diagnose this.
Exactly.
And the VA to pay.
There are a number of problems that go with diabetes, and sometimes I worry that my veterans are not aware of them. Urinary incontinence or frequency in having to go to the bathroom is a big problem that people with diabetes have. If you have to go to the bathroom every hour, you're up all night long, that really affects your sleep. It affects your ability to do a job. Mm-hmm. And tell the VA about that. Let them know and be aware that that is a problem that's connected with diabetes. Another problem, and this is one that really worries me because you can have a loss of kidney function. That's a serious problem, but you may not know it. Most of my vets don't know it. The only way you know it is if you look at your labs. That's the blood tests that they take, and you can look at. You ask your doctors. Many of the VA doctors don't tell people that you have a kidney. So you look at BUN, creatinine, things like that.
Well, I mean, if you look at the labs, it can be anywhere from a page to 4 pages of numbers and going across the board. The problem areas should be noted with an H or an L.
For high or low.
Or an L for high. And those would be the ones you'd want to ask the doctor about. But that's where the kidney problems are hidden.
Right.
And kidneys, what is that, 40%, 60%
Kidneys,
rating?
40 to 60 to 80%.
So that, you might not know you have a kidney problem until it lets you know, but that could be something that you're rated significantly for. Because again, you probably have 20% for the diagnosis for the problem of diabetes itself, but the other problems it's causing. Heart, we didn't even talk about heart.
Heart. People who are diabetic often end up with heart attacks and heart disease. So if you have a heart problem, and you have diabetes, then you should allege that as a secondary problem. That's, I have diabetes and it's caused this problem.
Heart, yeah.
Alzheimer's, that's a sad one. I think the statistics are overwhelming that if you have diabetes, your chance of getting Alzheimer's are up 75, 80%.
Way too high. Yeah.
Way too high.
But again, these, the VA rating code is supposed to compensate a veteran to the degree to which they cannot work. It's all dependent on working no matter how old you are. And so with diabetes, if someone can just give themselves insulin and go on their day, they seem like they're fine, but they're developing all these secondary problems. Glaucoma, another one we didn't talk about.
Diabetic retinopathy.
Yeah, all these issues that are secondary to it, your rating should be a lot higher than that 20%. So go ahead.
I can't emphasize how poorly advised a lot of my veterans are by their treating doctors, by the VA. I don't know why, but they don't educate them on what to look at. So you have to take care of yourself. I think get your labs. The VA will give you it, and if you have an H or an L, Google it. Is this something related to BUN? Is BUN related to my kidney problem? Because I have a veteran, we went back 10 years, and he got an 80% rating for his kidney, and he didn't even know he had a kidney problem.
And it had been there in his labs.
It had been there in his labs. His doctor had never mentioned it. And this is something I find all too often. So make sure that when you file a claim, you don't need to put the name. You don't have to have BUN, see my creatinine, say, I have to go to the bathroom a lot. Right. I never had to do that before. I'm feeling fatigued. My hands hurt all the time. I can't use them. List all of the problems.
Well, thank you for tuning in today.